Hello everyone. After the bans of Attuned Eater, Rampaging Pherocidon, Rogue Refiner, and Ramonap Ruins, I have decided to make a videos about my top 3 banned cards in Magic the Gathering. I'm going to go into a journey about the top 3 cards that were banned in Standard, and I'm going only to cover Standard, and that made a lot of impact on players in Magic the Gathering. Before going into my top 3, I will have a couple of honorable mention about particular cards that were banned and made a huge impact on Standard at that time. My first honorable mention will be Zuran Orb. Zuran Orb from the set of Ice Age. It was an uncommon, 0 as casting cost, and you do 0, sacrifice a land to gain 2 life. This card was banned because of its interaction with Armageddon, where you cast Armageddon and you destroy all lands. Therefore, you cast Armageddon, and on stack you sacrifice all your lands to Zuran Orb and you gain that much life. It was so powerful that you will leave your opponent without lands. You also will have no lands, but you will gain 2 life for every land you destroy to yourself. And that's the reason why this card was banned. My second honorable mention is Felidar Guardian. Felidar Guardian from the set of Aether Revolt. It's an uncommon, 3, 1 white. When Felidar Guardian enters the battlefield, you may exile another target permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner control. Why this card was banned and why this card is so powerful? This card is banned in Standard because of its interaction with Saheeli Rai. Saheeli Rai, the Planeswalker, Felidar Guardian and Saheeli Rai together will give you unlimited creatures because of the second ability of Saheeli Rai. -2 Saheeli Rai, you create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, except it's an artifact in its additional other types. That token gain haste, exile it at the beginning of your next end step. Therefore, you play Saheeli Rai, you play the Felidar Guardian, you -2 Saheeli Rai, and you create another copy of Felidar Guardian. When Felidar Guardian enters the battlefield, you choose Saheeli Rai to bounce and return it back to play. When you bow Saheeli Rai, it enters again with 3 loyalty on it, and you can play again the -2. Therefore, you are creating multiple copies of Felidar Guardian and they all gain haste. And you will attack with an unlimited amount of creatures. Felidar Guardian was banned immediately after release of Aether Revolt, as players were abusing about this combo. Then I'm going to go in my top 3. In third position, I choose the Affinity Duck. In March 2005, Affinity Duck was the most powerful deck at that time to play in Standard. Everyone was playing Affinity because it was so powerful that no other deck could beat it. Therefore, Standard had become Affinity versus Affinity, and therefore something had to be done. Wizards of the Coast have released that Ancient Den, 3 of Tails, Seat of the Synod, Great Fairness, Vault of Whispers, Citadel Darksteel, Disciple of the Vault, and Arcbound Revenger were all banned. Thus, it made Affinity Duck less powerful. In second position, I choose two particular cards. First, Stoneforge Mystic and Jace the Mind Scalper. These two cards were banned in June 2011, and apart from Jace the Mind Scalper, that is the most powerful Planeswalker card ever created, these two cards were banned because they were featuring in all top 8 and top 16 decks. There were multiple copies of Jace and Stoneforge Mystic, and they were featuring in all decks that was topping 8 or 16. Therefore, they were both banned. Still, in second position, I choose another card that was banned. I choose Channel. 2 green, until end of turn you may add colorless mana to your mana pool, for 1 life each. Therefore you pay 1 life and you add 1 colorless mana. This card was so powerful at that time that it was banned. Why? Because you would play a mountain, then you play a Black Lotus. Remember that this card was released in the first set of Alpha, Beta and Unlimited. Therefore Black Lotus was played in Standard, or at that time called Type 1. You may play a mountain, then play the Black Lotus. You sack the Black Lotus for 3 green mana. You use 2 green mana to cast Channel. You pay 19 life for 19 colorless. You play a Fireball. You tap the mountain. You tap the green. You use the green mana, the last green mana from the Black Lotus, and the 19 colorless. Therefore, on turn 1 of your play, without the opponent doing nothing, you will win the game because you will deal 20 damage immediately. This combo was so powerful that was immediately banned. In first position, I chose for my top 3 banned cards Skullclamp, an uncommon card from the set Darksteel. For 1, you cast this card. A quick creature gets 1/1/-1, and when a quick creature dies, is put into the graveyard, you draw 2 cards. This card, I think, is one of the most powerful cards ever created in Magic the Gathering. It gives you unlimited card drawing by sucking 1/1 creatures. Just to tell you how much powerful and used this card was, in one of the nations tournaments, out of 64 possible cards from the top 8, 58 were Skullclamp. So if you do 8 times 4, it's 64. Out of 64 possible cards, 58 were Skullclamp. Skullclamp was a very powerful card, and therefore was banned prior the banning of the Affinity, Artifact Affinity cards. Leave me a comment below. What do you think was the most card banned that has affected you? And stay tuned to my channel for more interesting video about Magic the Gathering. Thank you very much.